there, it's Seb Fry the Realtor here, and in this episode, I'm going to share with you a story about how some of my clients were recently able to sell their home above fair market value super quickly, even in this soft real estate market. If you're wondering if it's still possible to sell your home quickly with multiple offers, get way over asking price, and have it close real fast with awesome terms, then you definitely want to watch this video. All right, well, before I get into all that, would you do me a favor? Would you please mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And don't forget to click the little bell to make sure that you get a notification every time I put up a fun, new, fact-filled, and fresh video, kind of like this one. All right, well, today's the day. It is closing day. We just closed escrow on the house for my clients. I'm very happy for them. They're very excited because it really went very, very well. And I just want to share the story with you because I think there's a lot of people out there who think that, these kinds of results aren't really possible in this market. But actually, not only are they possible, they're actually very, very common if you use the proper strategy. All right, well, this property, it is a single family residence, but it lives kind of like a townhouse. It's a planned unit development on like a shared driveway, and that has a very small yard. It's detached from all the other houses nearby. So it is a single family house. There's a small HOA to pay. But it's an end unit, had good privacy and great natural light at a good location. But nevertheless, the market is definitely not what it was earlier this year. The real estate market really peaked in March of 2022. That was an amazing month. If you had put your home up for sale in January, February, or March, is a totally different story than what's going on right now. And today is, the beginning of September, and we put the home on the market sort of in the middle of August. And the middle of August isn't really the most ideal time to put a home on the market. From the middle of June, July, August, these tend to be some of the slower months in the real estate cycle because a lot of buyers, they're off on vacation at that time. And so there are fewer people out looking at that time. And then normally, you might have a good amount of inventory over the summer, as a lot of homes which came on the market in spring, which didn't sell, are just sort of lingering around. We had talked about waiting until after Labor Day weekend when a lot more buyers come back into the market to put the home up for sale, but the sellers had a compressed timeline because they were moving. They got a great new job halfway across the country, and they decided they really wanted to have the property on the market, under contract, and sold really long before they actually planned to make that move. So from the time that we listed the property, from the day we signed that listing agreement until the day that we actually closed escrow, that entire period was 48 days from start to finish. So we signed that listing agreement in late July, and just as soon as we signed that agreement, we got to work on getting the property ready for sale. And this is always a big part of the process, is carefully preparing the property so that it has the widest appeal to the greatest number of buyers, so that you can get a lot of interest and a lot of offers very quickly on the property. But one of the questions always is what exactly should we do? What kind of stuff can we do to the property to really get the biggest return on the investment? And remember, they didn't have a lot of time. They wanted to get that property on the market and sold very quickly. And not only that, they were also living in the property, and they didn't want to have their lives majorly disrupted any more than they were having it disrupted by any kind of like large scale renovation project. So I went through the property first by myself, and then I came back again with my stager, my interior decorator, and we went through the property and we came up with a plan. And there were dozens of items on that list. There were probably, I think it was like 56 separate individual line items of little tweaks we wanted to make to the property. And some of them were bigger tweaks, and some of them were, most of them were little tiny, small tweaks. But we had a very detailed list that we went through. And the total cost that they paid to get their house ready for market, the biggest things were we replaced a couple of appliances. That was $3,200. And then just a bunch of miscellaneous parts, some mulch and some paint and some lighting fixtures. I think the total cost was somewhere around $6,500 in materials. Again, half of that was just the appliances. And then in terms of the actual labor cost, it was somewhere around, I'm thinking like $1,100, $1,200 in that range to get the actual work done. Then we had a sales clean. That was actually, that was pretty expensive. That was $720, but we really, got that property scrubbed and looking great. And just as soon as we had done all that work, the very next day, the stager came through, staged the property, got it looking great in a single day. And this is interesting. This was a partial staging. This was occupied home staging, and we blended a lot of their existing furniture with a lot of the stager's furniture to create a pretty cohesive, nice flow and look to the property. Came out looking great. And then right the next day, as soon as the stager was gone, boom, photography, video, that happened all in one day. The next couple of days, we sent out the postcards to the neighbors. We did the coming soon strategy. We started collecting, leads for people who might be interested in the property, just as soon as we had some good pictures to show them. And then we were ready for the market. We hit the market on a Tuesday. We had 2 showings that very same day, and then like 4 hours after the first showing, we actually had our first offer. And then the next day we had 2 more showings. We got another offer. Then we had another showing, and we got another offer. And this is all before the open house. This is all in a matter of days. We also had a broker's open tour, of course, on the Thursday in the middle of that week. So we actually didn't have time to review any of those offers because one of the sellers was away on a business trip, and we just didn't have time to get together to go over all the offers in detail. And so between the open houses on Saturday and Sunday, we reviewed the 3 offers that we had. We had those 3 offers, and we were working on counter offers. And then at that Sunday open house, another offer came in, another really great offer. We ended up having 4 offers on the property, but it's interesting. I talked about how this is maybe a softer market. Well, a couple of things didn't happen. We had 24 parties come through that open house. We had 14 on Saturday and 10 on Sunday. 24 parties came through, and we only got 1 offer. And then the Monday after the open house, I didn't get any calls from any agents asking about offers, asking about disclosure packages, asking could they make an appointment to come and see the property, or if their buyers could come in to see it again. And it was getting, good, decent views online, but not like exceptional views. And one of the barometers I like to use is the Redfin Hot Home. Redfin has this thing where like very popular listings that get saved a whole bunch in a short period of time. They call that a hot home. It's an indication it's going to sell very quickly and, usually overpriced in my experience. It was not a Redfin Hot Home. So it's interesting. We got like a lot of activity right up front, but then, it did cool off, right? There just wasn't that deep back bench of buyers out there for the property. My sense was that we had these 4 offers and we needed to jump on these 4 offers right now. We didn't want to get them any colder. We didn't want time to go by and for these 4 buyers to notice that there were no new buyers coming on the market. We didn't want to lose that momentum. We didn't want to lose that urgency. So I felt it was really important that we get into contract very quickly with these buyers. It's interesting, the offers that we got, the first 3 offers, they were over asking price, but they weren't very much over asking price. They were somewhat over asking price. The 4th offer that came in, that offer was, a good chunk over asking price. And that was, a good solid indication that, hey, there was a buyer up at this upper price range. We did counter offers for all 4 buyers in the end. We countered all buyers at a higher price than any offer that we had in hand. And then after that, actually, we did some subsequent negotiation and got the buyers up even higher. And so we closed at 10.8% over asking price. And yes, the initial asking price was in fact below what we expected it to sell for. That's just good strategy. I had expected it to sell somewhere between the $1,375,000 to $1.4 million range. After it was all done, after we had it all, fixed up and ready for market, I thought, yeah, we can get 1.4 for this. And we exceeded that. We actually got $1,440,000. We had those 4 offers. 3 of those offers were cash. And at the end of the day, we took that cash offer. It closed in 15 days. One of those days was Labor Day weekend. Labor Day. So there was one non-business day in there. We closed, in 15 days, 10.8% over asking price, all cash. no contingencies of any kind, no inspection contingency, no appraisal contingency, and the buyers even got a free, no-cost 46-day free rent back in the property after closing, which would allow them to move out gracefully. And that is the magic that happens when you do have a really, well-prepared, well-priced property. The buyers are going to come running, and it puts you, the seller, in the driver's seat and really lets you get pretty much the exact dream offer that you were wanting to get. And I'm very happy for my clients that they were able to get that. Again, from start to finish, it was a whole 48-day process. There was some work to be done in that time, but we didn't tear the whole house apart. They continue to live there. There were not very many showings, only a couple open houses, and it was a very smooth and drama-free transaction. And if you are looking for a result like that, when you go to sell your home, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Call this number on the screen right here, 408-548-7348, or just shoot me a text message. I'd love to talk about you, find out what your situation is, and discuss, a strategy that can meet your particular needs and resources and goals and timelines for the sale of your home. All right. I really hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. And if you have, I'm guessing you'll probably also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel. And please subscribe if you would. I would really appreciate that. All right, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And please stay tuned.